guys, this is Jason here with the Hunting After Dark podcast and my co-host Justin Rumley here. And we are also joined by my future son-in-law here, Thomas Ling.
Special guest.
Special guest here. We're all packed in here, all family over here. Going to be talking about a topic, but we're going to have a little bit of fun first. Right now we got behind on our podcast. We were supposed to do it yesterday, but this type of season on Fridays are just slammed and busy.
Between visitors, people coming in, wanting to check out units, wanting to buy something. It's just one of them deals. If we don't get in here at the crack of dawn, it's just not going to get done.
Yeah, we start getting calls early in the morning, especially the time changes. Like we can start at 7 a.m. taking calls sometimes, and then we don't get a chance to get out and do the podcast. So we're sitting here doing it on a Saturday while football's going on. And I figured, well, since we're doing this while football games are going on, and Thomas has got his Texas Tech shirt on, so we're gonna have to talk a little college football, talk a little trash a little bit.
Yeah, that's all right.
I guess all the Aggies are upset right now. They lost to Texas.
It's good for them, though. That's all they are. It's bunch of crybabies.
Our buddy Jeff that's been on here, we were giving him a hard time.
I hope he's watching too, man. Hey, just know all you A&M fans, you'll be watching Texas from home, so that's all good. Especially Jeff. That one's for Jeff, man.
Yeah, I sent out to Jeff. I said, you hear about that flood warning in College Station? He's like, what? All them Aggie tears flowing down the streets, man. There's a flash flood over in College Station.
Oh, yeah.
But it's kind of cool to see that kind of come back together in that rivalry game. I mean, that was some intense crap.
Man, they claim it's a rivalry, but man, A&M they haven't been relevant in football for a while since Johnny Manziel.
Talking trash about that.
I mean, but when you hire a guy from Duke to make a turnaround for A&M football, it's not going to happen, man. It's impossible.
As you can tell, Justin's a big UT fan. Thomas went to Tech. I actually went to Baylor. So now it's all getting on. All these Texas schools all getting after it. Everybody's getting hyper competitive of who's going to be the best team in the state.
Yeah. Well,
everybody's fighting it all out.
Is like you were mentioning, Baylor and A&M might play in that Texas Bowl.
If they get that Texas Bowl game,
and
would
if
be
Baylor
nice.
Beats A&M, I never want to hear anybody say A&M football is good. So
yeah, all the Aggies are out here. We got a lot of customers out of College Station and out of that Caldwell area, and we appreciate those guys. But we got to do a little trash talk about college football. Nobody get butt hurt and go set the store on fire or anything. I mean, we just all joking around.
Watching you, Jeff. We're watching you, man.
Yeah, Jeff might come over here and come slit his wrist on the front door.
Put some graffiti on there.
But yeah, it's been a wild year. I think college football going on.
It's been interesting all the way across the board.
Upsets and teams coming out of nowhere. It's like in the background we've got Iowa State playing Arizona State.
Yeah,
it's for the Big 12 championship. I mean,
got some teams that you never would expect to be in there, like Boise State, SMU. I mean, hell, for number one in the country is Oregon. I mean, they've had a good program all year, but it's just one of them things that it could go either way at the end of the day.
And I can't believe Oklahoma State, man. Them people are about to fucking jump off bridges.
Yeah, he went from something to nothing, and now
I remember that match being contender and stuff, and that was kind of sad. It's kind of sad to see that. I mean, it's like, holy crap! All the basketball schools are doing better.
Yeah,
what's
going on out there over at Tech, man? What they've been up to?
Go Raiders!
Spreading the rash, and that's it.
Yeah.
Throwing tortillas.
Yeah. What game was it that the coach got on the field and yelled at him, "Stop throwing tortillas"?
I don't remember.
Colorado. It was the Colorado game, wasn't it? Yeah, that's okay. Go hit Dion in the head with a tortilla, and no one's gonna hurt. No one's gonna be crying about that. You go hit old
Dion.
That big old blockhead of his. Yeah. But I don't think it's gonna have their feelings hurt. You go smack Dion upside the head.
Nah, they might like it.
That Colorado hype went away real quick, real fast.
Yeah,
now back into the shadows. But I guess we'll see how next year rolls out.
He did beat Baylor. That's all I will say.
And the double overtime.
Hey, win's a win.
Win's a win. You hear that crap every time. Oh man. No, that was a weird deal. But the topic that we're going to get into today is kind of an interesting topic, and it's a change in technology because we're trying to joke around about football, and it's coming to an end, and we're rolling over into a new year. You kind of got the holiday season. We have SHOT Show starting here towards the end of January. And that's when a lot of new products get released. Yeah. Well, it's getting to the point now to where a lot of companies are essentially launching a lot of their kind of a sneak peek of their new product lines early. Yeah. They're trying to get a jump on SHOT Show. Well, one, mainly because you think about the busy season for the thermal night vision kind of season hunting, people getting out there is October to March.
Yeah.
And so SHOT Show's in the middle of that. So these companies are trying to time these things right. And, we get on the phone with some of these manufacturers and, I'm discussing things with them as like, if you have new launches, SHOT Show's too late. By the time you announce it, you see it, you get the hype going, you get manufacturing going, you're mid-February. You're done.
Yeah,
You're done in 6 weeks.
It's already over at that point.
Yeah. And so some of these companies are starting to learn to get a little bit of a jump on some of that, have some of these things, or have production ready immediately where essentially orders go out during SHOT Show. Yeah. Hey, Cheyenne, can you hand me that Vista back there? There's that Vista handheld. There's one more thing. Yeah, it's like, what? Yeah, what? Oh, so we got Cheyenne behind. Jess is getting ready for our community Christmas thing for our town, so she's not behind there. We have Justin's girlfriend behind there playing our moderator today to try to keep us all in line today. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But the biggest thing about a lot of these and the new products that are launching is they're having a lot of big technology changes, and when we're looking at things, we're looking at now a change in technology on sensors. But I think the biggest thing that we're going to see here for 2025 is laser rangefinders. How are those going to be integrated into scopes? And we have some new stuff here that is launched early. There may be some more launches here in January. We're not sure exactly what they're going to come out to market with. But we do have some new launches here. But I kind of want to show like some of these scope style units of what your traditional laser rangefinder looks like. So,
yeah, I mean, everybody. That's some of the biggest questions we get is all right, what has integrated LRF? And sometimes, I mean, it just really depends on which route they want to go. If they want to go tube style, okay, there's limited options. Now, if they want to go compact style, there's a few more options. But at the end of the day, a lot of people feel like they need the integrated LRF, and like I said, the options are just slim. Now, there is some others out there, like the one Jason has in his hand, the Rick's Leap series, where you can add on the laser rangefinder, but we'll get into a little bit more in depth on how to set it up, how it's functioning, and does it work good? Does it hold zero? Things like that versus the integrated ones.
So with these, it's kind of comes to these things where manufacturers trying to make a decision of the LRF or not to LRF type question. So, you have a product line, you have something that's out there. So do you incorporate an LRF or do you just make that an add-on option later? Does that leave the convenience of the customer to be able to save $500 to $800 of not having that on there and make it economical for a customer? So those questions are constantly coming up manufacturers, and we go discuss those things with them, and it kind of gets to the point to where, maybe you should just do LRF. Just go ahead and have it in there. Just don't give them a choice. Don't give them an option. Yeah, don't really give them a choice, and and just leave it what it is, and figure out where your price is going to be, and leave it at that. Because it gets hard. Sometimes these models, if they don't have the laser rangefinder, they may not move.
Yeah, that is very true.
They may not move, and some do. Rick's, what they did is they did that add-on LRF on this unit where you spend $500 later. You may buy the scope, and then we use it for a couple months. You go what? I really do need the LRF, and you can add it on. That is definitely an option. There's a way to do that. A lot of those add-on LRFs are Bluetooth. The TX, all the Bolt Line series and Infra Outdoor has their add-on LRF in the same style, kind of adapter type piece on here. But we found a lot of debates online, a lot of things in the social media of people complaining about maybe it's moving, or they bump it, they throw it in their vehicle, they throw it in their buggy, and it gets bumped and moved.
That's the biggest thing that we find.
I think the guys on our text message thread with all of us today were talking about the relocation kits.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different models out there that people are experimenting with and trying. So there is other mounting options out there besides the factory one that it comes with, so don't feel like you're obligated to use that one. There is better, more secure options out there that you can use that will hold it, a true zero every time.
What are those relocation kit guys doing? They're essentially trying to put it in line with the barrel, or
in line with the barrel, M-lock style. So if you have like a AR platform or a bolt action chassis that has the M-lock forehand grip, then you can put that relocation kit on there. Or they do make some other ones that are Picatinny as well. So you can definitely get it, side by side with the barrel of your gun, and essentially sight it in with the red laser to your target and things like that. And but yeah, I definitely think that's the way to go. The factory mount, man, I will definitely say between the Rix one and the infrared outdoor one, they definitely cheaped out on the mount, because there's definitely better options out there than what they gave you and provided with the rangefinder.
Yeah, and we always try to help people out with with their laser rangefinder. They're getting concerned about it being on target and things like that. But with a lot of these add-on ones, they do have a visible red laser to help you kind of hone it in, move it in, because you need some point of reference to kind of help you hone these things in. Essentially, we do it to where you put it where your crosshairs.
Yeah, and then if you really want to dial it in, get creative. If you have a digital night vision scope or a set of nods or any something night vision related, you can always spot your beam through your night vision and pinpoint it very much so. Instead of with the red laser, you can definitely see where that rangefinder beam is pointing through your night vision. Put it on your target, tighten it down, make sure it's secure, and it's not going to move when it gets bumped or something. So you do know it's a tight zero.
Because even digital night vision can see the infrared laser that this thing does emit. And so we tell people, it's like, if you really want to get precise with these things, there is a way to do that.
Yeah.
But you'd have to use some type of way to view infrared spectrum to be able to do some of that. So you can hone these things in. There's different things that you can do. It gets to be interesting when you get into laser rangefinders and some of these conversations. But this is a unit, and as well as that THDC, that we are looking at. Always different kind of mounting options. I mean, your TX60C, you have a completely different mounting option for yours.
Yeah, no, I
kind
do.
of all of an aftermarket type deal.
Yeah, it's
that you like to use.
Yeah, standard flashlight mounting system that we have, and it sits directly above the scope. And
You've got it to where essentially it is right above the bell.
yeah, and yes, you can get it sighted in perfectly. Do I have mine personally done? No, I don't. I just have it on there more for show. I don't even know if the batteries are charged, honestly. I don't play with it. I just have it to have it up there to show people.
And you've got your battery cap extender on yours.
Oh, yeah. I think the whole setup's like, this tall with the gun, the scope, the rangefinder, and the battery extender. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's more for show, for showing people here at the store, this is how you can get it set up. Yes, you can get it dialed in with a different aftermarket style mounting system and have it sit vertical. If you don't want, something hanging off the side of your gun to where, if you're leaning it against you, get caught on something, or, it falls over and bumps the side of it. No, this one sits right above the scope, so everything is just kind of stacked on top of each other. And it works great. Like I said, I did get it temporarily set up, had it all lined up, and then after that the battery died, and I haven't played with it since.
Yeah, so I mean, there's different mounting options, different ways to make these things work. Like, they do work. It just takes a little more effort on the user's part.
Absolutely.
You guys kind of having to set that up, and that's kind of what's going to springboard us on to some other products here. So at least kind of want to start here, because this is probably the one we get the question about the most.
Yeah, this one's a more complex, takes a little more effort, a little more time to get set up. But aside from that, once you get it all dialed in, tightened up, you can pretty much say you don't have to mess with it again unless it got bumped pretty hard or you moved something. Then you'll have to kind of start the process over.
Now, here we have in the Thermion 2 with the Pulsar unit, they have theirs integrated here. You can see with the raised hood of where their laser rangefinder looks like and kind of the overall profile here, that this is all integrated. There is no adjustment. So we're looking now at products that essentially have those LRFs built in to the housing, and that's part of. Sorry, I'm going to set that up here. We're going to have to get us a nice little fancy display.
Go ahead and drop it.
Yeah, and then I dropping the $7,000 scope on the ground here in the store. Yeah, not saying that ever happened. But hold on.
Yeah, it was me.
Who has dropped a $7,000 scope?
I will say it was outside on the concrete, so that makes it even better.
Yeah. So you get the scratch. So someone got the scratch and dent deal. Yeah, don't think you're gonna come in my store and drop a unit and think you're gonna get a scratch and dent deal here like we're at the grocery store with a can of beans.
Yeah, this one's got a dent in it. Can I get 50% off here?
Yeah, hell, this one's got a scratch on it. What do you do here? No.
Yeah.
Oh, I dropped it. Now can you take $500 off? No, nobody get any ideas. You break it, you buy it in this place.
Yeah. Plus an extra couple hundred for the inconvenience.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Don't be giving anybody any ideas over here. But yes, so integrated laser rangefinders into units. So the whole idea you think about lasers is trying to get it to where you're taking out the human error part of it. So with this unit, you are looking at taking out the human error, where we're talking about you have to make those adjustments and things on that unit to be able to get that perfectly kind of where you want it lined up. So Pulsar has done a good job with that, with these type units, kind of being the first ones to do that.
Yeah.
And they've done a good job. And then, all of these now have ballistic calculators and things like that. So we do get some people that get aggravated, of having a unit to where if you are doing ballistic calculation, if your laser rangefinder's off, you're getting the wrong calculations.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's kind of where we start to step this up now in the levels of hunting at night, hunting after dark. What are you getting into? Because we have some guys that's like, I want to shoot past 400 yards.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, well, how are you going to do that? You have to have the laser rangefinder.
Yeah,
there's no round shoot flat 400 yards. This just don't happen that way. And so you have to have some type of holdover point, do something, and be able to find a way to be able to do it. You got any comments on there, Cheyenne? Yeah. Oh, what's our colorful comments here today?
It's from Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, from our buddy Jeff, yeah.
Dang Aggie.
It says, Justin, those horns going to crumble against Georgia.
Oh, them Bulldogs. Them Bulldogs going to get
I was going to say, at least we're playing.
them Bulldogs going to get them horns.
Hey, them Aggies are in the transfer portal or at home, one of the two.
Oh, shots fired. Oh, shots fired. Y'all hear some loud gunshots going out here on the highway, man.
Yeah.
They shooting at us.
Jeff doing a drive-by. Got his Aggie shirt on. It's all good.
Sorry, guys. We're trying to have a little fun with it today. We're here on a Saturday, man. Just people messing with us. But, it gets to be an interesting topic here with the laser rangefinders and in doing the add-on things versus things that are integrated. So Pulsar did, like I said, were the first ones to do that. But ballistic calculators are something that's very, very new to this year in 2024. With how you do calculations, you're putting data in, but the thing is you do need the laser rangefinder to be accurate.
Yes.
So the best way to do that is to have something that is mounted within the housing of the scope, which they've done that here. But a lot of questions do get to come, and they kind of arise of where that beam is hitting, and then where your crosshairs are, or essentially not even crosshairs, more about where your bullet impact is, where your barrel is in correlation. Because if anybody can remember from, I guess this would have to be geometry, right? You think about lines, straight lines, parallel lines, things like that. Eventually, at a certain point, lines are going to cross. Yeah. There are going to be off. So if you think about a beam being emitted, your bullet being emitted, and the points of where those things are going to come across. And that's where it kind of gets into, I think, our newer topic of how do you get a laser rangefinder built in to be more accurate? What design are you looking at? And that's going to kind of get me into something new here, which we're going to be talking about. That's released now. It actually launched a month early. I got to pull up my notes on this because I am going to throw up a graphic, guys. We're not going to have it right here on the live, but I'm going to put it on our regular podcast, and I'm going to go over this.
He works really hard on this.
Yes, I did. You lucky I didn't have a PowerPoint presentation today. And
he gave me a brief one.
Yeah. You got here's the side note. Here's the notes on it. So I will pull up my notes to reference this one. So I'm gonna kick out our Pulsar unit here.
Bringing the big dogs. Bring the big guns through.
And I'm still field testing this. We have not completely field tested this to my satisfaction, but I have had it out in the field. So with our USA, and they have launched their new Knockpicks line, which is kind of their sister brand here that they're looking at. And this is the Ace H50R. This is an integrated LRF with your scope. As you can see, if people that are watching this on video, where is our LRF? Well, open up your cap here. You look in the front. There is your laser rangefinder. It is built into the bell of the housing. It's actually right there with the sensor. So it is about as close as you can get to your sensor on this unit. So with that being said, their whole idea of doing that bell, and the reason I kind of sent you that graphic, is they are kind of talking about that beam emission, and at what angle do they essentially cross at a distance. And that's where it's talking about having LRFs that are off to the side. Ones that are, added on, eventually that's kind of maybe pointing this direction. And then talking about ones that are mounted on the side itself of it being eventually kind of being off, but that the best let me see how the wording is, that I would beam is parallel with the objective's field of view, has a better axis consistency. So
That's
yeah,
big words, man.
yeah.
That's taking me
We'll
back
put the
to the
graphic
good
up there
days.
where I stole this
Yeah.
from, and I do not disagree with this concept that they have
I
going
mean, it
on.
makes logical sense if you think about it. The more you think about it, the more it makes sense if you understand what's going on here with the LRF being built into the bell of the housing.
So-
if not, then it's going to be difficult to kind of understand.
Because I mean, we're looking at the return, the beam emitter,
Mm-hmm.
and the isometric center of the middle of that sensor is essentially this right here. Well, you're talking a half an inch.
Yeah, I was going to say we wish we could get a exact measurement, but it would be almost impossible without breaking the lens off and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
you're looking at
but
about
you can,
half an inch.
like you say, you can think every bit of a half inch, if that. This is the difference between the LRF and the sensor.
So
in between there.
the integrated bell housing LRFs are getting to be a thing that you are going to see in 2025. This will be the new design of the future of scope style units. You're probably going to see it at some of your smaller units. You are going to see laser rangefinders that are no longer going to be off the side of the housing. They're trying, I think, to put everything in those front objectives to get those all in there together. You can't bump it. You can't break it off. You can't. It is something that is now going to be incorporated with the housing.
Yeah,
And
just so
you're looking for that
more
just
accurate.
accuracy.
Yep, more
And
accurate.
to increase your accuracy with an LRF type unit, we've had a lot of people ask us about the ACE, and we're like, listen, like this LRF is probably one of the more accurate ones out there that you're going to find. And
And I will make note of that goes hand in hand also with your ballistic calculations as well. You're going to get more accurate feedback on bullet drop points and things at a further distance because what was the range on this rangefinder? It was what 13, 12?
1,300 yards, 1312 technically, because it's 1,200 meters.
Yeah, that's what the Chinese say. But so yes, the ballistic calculations, your bullet drop points, and all that stuff will be a lot more accurate because your rangefinder is going to be that much more accurate itself. So it's going to be able to give you better feedback on bullet drop points at the end of the day. So your shots will be easier to make at that point, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's just like the other night. I mean, I had it on. It has a single mode. It has the continuous mode, and it was nice for me. And I do like if you like how the RH50R is and how it has the little eye, the eye with the dashes. What did you call it the other day? The sun. I called it the sun.
I call it the eagle.
The eagle eye.
Because it looks
The
like an eagle
eye.
flying with its
The
wings
eagle flying.
spread.
So it has that more that pinpoint graphic essentially in there instead of just the traditional square. And because what happens is with that graphic, you can essentially get that line across and you can get it in the same plane as your target and be able to range and then come back off, go onto it and then back onto your crosshair, going back and forth. So I do like the way it's more pinpoint just in just the software alone. Plus having that laser rangefinder, I had it on continuous the other day and I had several coyotes coming in, and second time ever they were rolled triple, and it was I'm looking at the ranges, I'm sitting there, it's continuously laser rangefinding, it's pinpointing this, and they're running in and out of brush. I'm talking whole high reed, Johnson grass and things like that. That's 4 or 5 feet tall, and they're going back in and out, back and forth in there. Some traditional laser rangefinders that you come across, they have trouble being that pinpoint that sometimes it splits that beam. It doesn't read it very well. This laser rangefinder is top notch. I mean, they were going in and out of this grass and these weeds and stuff, and I was still getting accurate yardage measurements from there and being able to make long shots. I mean, I had one almost 300 yards. I shot one up close, and I shot another one about 230, and then went out to 300 yards. But it's constantly giving me that range, and I'm sitting there knowing how high up am I going to have to aim up here. Now, I didn't even use the ballistic calculator; it was just happening so quick. But the return on this laser rangefinder is better than anything I've ever seen.
Yeah. And another cool thing to make note of is for the guys who love picture-in-picture, the ballistic calculator will give you your drop point inside the small picture-in-picture window. So that's going to be a new feature that they have added. It's only in this one and one other scoop. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head which one it is. But just know your drop point X will not only just be on the big screen, but it would also be in the picture-in-picture for you as well, for you guys who like to run the picture-in-picture. That's
I
a
didn't
cool
know
new,
that. That was
a
good.
cool new feature that they added inside of it. Like I said, it's only in this one and one other. I want to say that it's in the RL42, maybe the RH50R. It's one of those
I
two.
won't hold you
Yeah,
to it.
I'll have to go back and look on that. So you'll have to give me a call here at the store, and I'll be able to tell you that
You could
second
turn one on and go mess with it.
Yeah, so I know that is a for sure feature inside the Ace H50R, which is going to be cool because a lot of guys do run the picture-in-picture, and I won't say it's a huge complaint, but it is a complaint for the guys who are using the ballistic calculator. They want that holdover point to be in the picture as well. So now they're accommodating to you guys and doing that inside at least the Ace H50R and one other unit as well.
Yeah, I can't say enough that I am not the traditional scope style. He likes to run bolt action. I like to run AR. I can say run the Ace. It's very hard not to like this scope, even on an AR platform. You know, it's got the optical zoom, it's got the digital zoom. You have their laser rangefinder options in here. I like how pinpoint the laser rangefinder is. It's got a lot of things that I like, and then dual battery systems because I'm notorious for not charging things. Says me. I will definitely be out there running around with low battery and have batteries everywhere. I literally run around with that little tan case full of batteries now, so that I don't ever run out of batteries. And they're probably all in there half charged. But I will. That's one of the things that I'm notorious for, and that's nice that you can swap those out. But the technology that we're starting to see here, this is one of these scopes that has everything I think that you'd want in it.
Yeah, no,
And
absolutely. It's a very impressive unit. Like you said, it has literally everything you could think of: ocular zoom, built-in laser rangefinder, the dual battery systems. You know, all the features inside of it. It's a sub 18 millikelvin sensor inside of it. Is that no? It's a sub 15.
Sub 15,
Sub 15.
640 less than 15. It's the
Yes.
only one out there. Yeah, and that's why you look at this and see the image quality look as good as it does. Now Justin's a little bit of a hater. He's still he's getting higher above 640, so now he is a snob, a 1024 snob.
Yeah, I blame Jason for that one.
He's all spoiled now.
It's all right though, because that 1024 is it's hard to beat, man. But like I said, but if you're looking for integrated laser rangefinder, that Ace H50R is definitely the way to go there.
Yeah, I mean, it's an awesome scope. What its capabilities are, what it's being able to do. That being said, we just kind of went over scopes. Not only scopes are going to start seeing these LRFs like that, we even have the Vista handheld here. So this is essentially your long-range handheld, but you can see that the LRF is built into the front bell on this handheld as well. And so everything is all integrated. Like you wouldn't even think that this handheld had laser rangefinder capabilities unless you popped open the front sensor and looked at it. I mean, it is one that is, this thing is a 4-base magnification, and it is made for long range scanning, scouting. It is a pretty badass handheld here, being able to have the laser rangefinder as well in here. It is something that is, I think, going to be really unique when you look at low-profile LRFs. Most other handhelds now that have LRFs, they almost look like the camcorders, type things. Like they're a little bigger, you know, they're double stacked. But this one's a little more ergonomic, having that being lower profile in these Vista handhelds with that integrated Bell laser rangefinder design.
Oh, come on. I'm trying to find
What you trying to find?
that other scope that I was telling you that has a...
I mean, you're probably right. I would say it would probably be within those two. But then again, you don't know. Some of these ones where we do our initial reviews and things like that, then they have software updates and change a lot of that stuff.
I can't remember where it's at. I'll have to look for it here later on.
Yeah.
But we'll refer back to it. Like I say, give me a call. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you which other scope it is.
I'll turn it on and go mess around with
Yeah,
the ballistic.
I'll have to find it again.
But the whole concept of those laser rangefinders is getting it as essentially low profile and close as they can, getting them close as your viewing window, essentially. Just thinking about how those beams come across, and so that's often angled. So I can say if you're looking for the most accurate laser rangefinder in the unit, that the Ace is the one that you need to go with.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you.
That Ace family that they're going to come out with. Now, I don't know what other families they're going to do here in the future when they look at some of the knockpicks things coming into the U.S. market. There's a lot of things that are out there international, which of course we're getting a ton of questions on that as well. And I'm curious to see. I mean, I think SHOT Show we might get a final answer here, mid January of what their final lineup is, what they're going to be. But they've kind of been, like I said, throwing out these teasers. But don't be surprised if you do see some other manufacturers also trying to do some of the integrated bell.
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the way this technology is going to go. So guys that have been concerned about LRFs and accuracy, that's going to kind of be getting addressed pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. It's just going to be an interesting time.
Yeah, well, like I said, SHOT Show is going to tell you a lot about what other manufacturers are going to do if they're going to do something similar, or they kind of come up with their own feature that they think works best for them. So it's going to be interesting to see what they release here at SHOT Show. Just within the laser rangefinder aspect of it, like you said, maybe they'll just wipe everything out and include LRF, and you have no option whether you get it or not. It's going to be included no matter what. So just one of the things that sorry, you're going to have to pay for it. But maybe they'll find that sweet spot in the price point to where it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg.
I think for them just to have two different product lines right at the same time. So think about it just from the economic standpoint. It's probably just easier just to run one assembly line, one set,
and then
here we go. Everyone gets LRF.
Yeah, and then they can provide you with a good price point and not have to upcharge you, $200 for the rangefinder because they had to pay for it.
Yeah,
in the back
that's kind of what I've been understanding of some of the manufacturing of some of these scopes is that it's just for them just switch over an assembly line or shut one down and redo it for another different type of scope. And then they're also trying to calculate, okay, do we do 300 of these or 200 of these, and essentially you streamline some of their productivity.
Yeah,
for them to be able to produce and do things like that.
Yeah. So,
but old Thomas, you got to go hunt with one of the prototypes that is not released.
Yes, I know.
So it's like you be careful what you say over there.
I was thinking about
You
that.
got to run a new 1280. Mm-hmm. Now it didn't have a bell laser rangefinder, but did have an integrated laser rangefinder.
Yeah.
So I don't think you got to use it too much on the laser rangefinder because when we went out the last time, we were at 40-something yards.
Yeah.
With your twin.
Man.
Yeah.
Just aim and shoot. That's
but you got to run the ace. You got to shoot the ace though.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving night.
Yeah.
And Tyler used the unreleased 1280.
Yeah, we got to run around. So usually Thanksgiving, I have a tradition of I usually take out my stepdaughter either the night before Thanksgiving or the night of night before or night of, and then we'd end up doing like the night after or something like that. But because we all had too many drinks, and that was definitely not a good idea to be running around. Yeah, we definitely enjoyed Thanksgiving way too much. But now Thomas is kind of coming along with us and hanging out, and Sammy didn't feel real well, so she was sitting in the vehicle while we're over there, freaking cackling like little girls. I mean, it was a good night. We were out there. We had the Ace out there. And we had another little prototype unit that we were running around with. And, we were in a long field. We walked like 500 yards the first time.
Yeah, like 540 something.
Yeah.
More power to y'all.
Yeah. It was...
I need the walk.
Yeah, and I took the Vistas out. Then I'm sitting here ranging with that Vista. I'm sitting here holding it, and it has some of that image stabilization, I think, already built in because, I was sitting there trying to hold that handheld. And I'm just like, we're walking, we're huffing and puffing. It's like, 300, 200. All right. They're like 100.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're at 100. I'm like, let's get closer. Let's keep going. But we're in an open plowed field, and there's pigs all out there. Y'all got on them pretty good. I need to remember to load your mag. You can't have me do everything. If anything, you got to look at me. Hey, do I have bullets? It's not a stupid question.
Yeah.
Like, I got any bullets in this gun?
2 shots.
Hell, I might give you the placebo, man. Just leave the pigs for me. I might just be like, oh, damn, that dud's in there.
Shit, I loaded you a bunch of duds. Sorry, man.
Man, I couldn't believe it. I literally have the full mag on the gun table.
Yeah.
And walked out and we grabbed one of the extra mags in the buggy that had like 1 round in it, so he got to go shoot like once. And but no, what did you think about that Ace?
Oh, it was nice. Y'all are more experienced with them than I am, but I thought it was a 12 something.
1280.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that new sensor is really, really nice.
Yeah.
That new sensor and then that 640. It's going to be interesting. It's going to kind of set the stage for a lot of other 640 units out there.
Yeah.
Maybe you're comfortable with that, shooting it on AR.
Yeah. Of course, when you look at them side by side, you can tell the difference. But I thought it was another higher end.
Thought it was a higher end scope.
Yeah.
Man, when we got on them pigs, even though he screwed up the first round, he got loaded up the second time, and he was ready to go the second time. we were literally driving around the buggy with the headlights on. Of course, mine's electric, so it's not real loud. But you're driving around, and I look around. The pigs came back out. They were shooting and everything. His brother was over there blasting, blasting away, trying to shoot them pigs the first time. Walked all that way. He wasn't going to let one go.
No,
And they came back out. Like, we shut the lights off. We got the sticks out, like, and everything.
Yeah.
And they literally came back to us. I thought they were running. They were going away. So I had, once again, I had that Vista out, and I'm sitting here, like, scanning, and I'm watching, and I tried to switch over to, typical. I had, like, I'm trying to test those binos out and that handheld.
Yeah.
So I'm like switching over back and forth. No, turn on those binos just in time to see they turned direction. They were walking to us. We were cutting the distance the whole time I was trying to turn those binos on. So I was like, I had dropped them real fast, went to the Vista that I already had on. I was like, they're at 40 yards. Get ready.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They're literally looking right at us. They had cut the distance. And so both of them were like point blank. So your brother, I think, shot that one. I think it had paused, it stopped. It was like 38 yards by the time your brother shot. And
pull the pig sticker out and just stab him at that point.
Yeah. It was like, you can see with your fucking eyes, like they're coming.
Yeah. Start kicking them out, get them out of here.
Yeah, but it was just, you talk about the laser rangefinder things. It's like, man, if I would have been ranging and paying attention, I probably would have made us walk 1,000 yards and not paid attention.
No, he's notorious for that. You don't.
Yeah,
they're just right over there. Nah.
No, we're gonna walk this 1,000-yard field. Yeah, I'm getting a little lazier now, so I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna use this laser rangefinder to make sure I thought we're gonna have to walk.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then those ones cutting the distance, and I'm just like, yeah, we need to shoot now.
Yeah.
But that 4 base on that thing, I mean, hell, when I'll probably try to put the video up here on the podcast, but damn, I mean, just like the full screen was just full. I'm just like, shoot.
It looked like he's 20 yards away from me.
Yeah, I'm sitting there counting hairs. Sitting there counting hairs and everything on there. I can see the burrs and the fur. That's how close we were. It's literally the cuckerburrs on the side I can see and count them.
Hurry up.
Get ready to shoot. We got to go. I'm not on the gun. They're both they're running around trying to get all set up. But no, I mean, it was a really cool scope. I mean, and you think about things is that, yes, you don't get out and go with this all the time. But I mean, as far as, recording and running the laser rangefinder, I mean, you were in there in the dark figuring it all out on your own. I mean, all the recordings we got, you got.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. I was helping your brother and stuff. So it's user friendly. I mean, that 3-button design wasn't hard for you.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's easy. I mean, hell, you can either turn the unit off, start a recording, or hit the rangefinder. One of the three.
You gotta figure it all out. Talking about
say,
user friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a 3x base. I mean, you didn't really have to zoom up too much either.
No, I don't even think I even touched it, and I didn't even know it had the optical zoom until after my friend Mason, when we went out hunted. I didn't even know, or else I would have told him about it.
Use the optical zoom.
Yeah.
Now the only thing with the optical zoom is like, what was it when we got the LRF disappears at like the 2 or something like that. So essentially, the way that optical zoom works on it is essentially you're going in towards the center. So you will lose. Now the LRF in the stock version of software is in the top right corner. If you update it, it's actually in the center. So you do get to keep it a little bit longer using the optical zoom. But essentially, if you want to kind of keep your LRF longer range, you do have to maintain the digital zoom.
Yeah.
Or at least do digital zoom and then do a little bit of optical after the fact. So you'll find a happy medium of a combination of both on using that scope, but you kind of use some of your digital with your optical, and you kind of find that perfect magnification that's going to work for you to get you a good, nice, clean image and be able to take that shot. But yeah, and so it's kind of it gets to be just with all these changes and everything that are in these scopes, it's getting to be an interesting deal to where the traditional way of doing things have kind of gone away. You've kind of got to figure out what works best for you. And some people, I mean, like, the LRF's great. I'll get a range, and then I'm going to zoom all the way up in that optical, and I don't care. I'm going to get on there and go shoot. I know what I'm going to do, but everyone's going to do things differently. There's no right way or wrong way to be able to do it. Some people may not even use optical. They just use digital and just so used to using it. Guys that have used stuff before are perfectly fine with that and just want that complete control of that digital zoom and no narrowing of the field of view as you're doing the optical. So they may not even like that. But it's there. But the thing is that it was a blast. I've had fun with it. I'm going to still keep going and run this thing for a little bit. We've got new products that are coming out. SHOT Show is coming. You and I are going to get very little sleep here pretty soon.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
We got another prototype we got to get out and start running It's another type of LRF unit, but that one.
You better make sure you've been in the gym a while, 'cause that sucker is a tank.
That one that you're about. Yeah, Justin volunteered to run a prototype on his gun that I'm
It's a big old brick
not thrilled
that's
about.
been.
Not thrilled.
I haven't even
So we
seen
talk
this
about
one.
sometimes you got advancements and sometimes you've got
Just
a step
that's
back
it.
or status quo.
Yeah.
So,
You open the box, you're like,
yeah,
that
we're
ain't
very
gonna work.
respectful of the company that sending us stuff ahead of time and things like that, and letting us field test things, and
Yeah,
we appreciate that. But
We'll
there's
see if
some things are just not going to sell.
yeah, we'll see if the image quality makes up for it. But hell, that thing, I'm gonna have to see a nutsack on a pig at 1,000 yards for that to make up. Because I'm gonna get an arm workout and everything else with it. So
Yeah,
we'll
I
see
mean,
what
and that's
happens.
the thing is, having laser rangefinder on it, trying out some of these other things that some of these companies are trying. There's some new companies that are coming out. We might pick up one. We got another prototype coming in on some new units. We might pick up somebody else, so we might leave that for future podcast if we end up picking up this other company. But they reached out to us if we would pick up one of their products, and so we told them we would. We go give it a fair review, but as you get
check 'em
closer to
out.
the SHOT Show, some of these new companies are going to be coming out, and then they got some new products, and some people do well, and then some are just trying to sell you a bill of goods. We had one company come in this past week that we dealt with before that. We went to product testing and the unit failed. Failed during product test, wouldn't work, corrupted files and videos, then stopped working. Couldn't get Crosshair to come back up, and then didn't bother ever to have a check back with us or get another unit to us where we go ahead and finish that field test. So we didn't pick them up, and they kind of circled back around and say, "Oh, we got all new technology." I'm like, "That's great, but
Great.
my customer experience right now has been that."
You're gonna have to
No
do a lot.
communication, no fix
Yeah.
things, things are wrong. And that's why we do a lot of those field tests and we do play around with different technology. And there's certain things I like and there's certain things you like. And the two of us don't necessarily like the same scope. I like more of the compact stuff. You like some of that traditional scope style stuff.
Tube style. I mean, like I said, tube style is me because all I run is bolt action, but not saying, it fits best just on a bolt action. It's just kind of what I prefer. So at the end of the day, I know what I like and I know what's good and I know what's out there on the market. And you're going to have to give a fair shake at that TX60. If not, I might, it's going to be hard.
I like the image quality, but I'll tell you honestly, if I was to pick any unit right now, just me running around right now, I like my new CMMG Descent. I like it. I like that piston driven AR. I've got it super lightweight. I've got super lightweight can. I got that scythe on there. I would go with that 35 640, that slim, the knockpick slim, because it weighs a pound. I'd use my ADM mount on it, and I'd put it on that thing, and I would leave it just like that. Yeah. It's a 2-base 640, and then we go out kind of calling and stuff like that. I'll let you shoot the long range stuff. If they're coming in hot on the call, then I'll shoot that one. But I mean, we always try to get them in close anyway. It's like if I wanted something that was just my ideal, easy setup for me to go out with, that's mine, which is completely different from you.
Yes.
Completely different from what you like to do.
Yeah, that's all good, bro.
I want to get out and start using a shotgun more. I want to start getting units on a shotgun and see what we can do. I'm gonna go buy a new shotgun. You know what? When's the gun show in today?
I don't know.
We'll go get one with a Picatinny rail on top. We'll go put that RH-25 V2, see if we can blow one up.
Just have it on your back, so when they get close, you just.
I'll just go let him. I'll have pistol grip on. I'll just be like that. This is doing the Kyle's coming close. If I miss, then you can do your follow up shot.
Yeah.
If I miss him with that double-out buckshot, and you can get after him. But hell, you can use that 4-shot. I'll get wide enough spread.
I'd be shooting $5 bills at them every time.
This would just be ass shot coyotes running around the county. And you can go finish it off. I'm just gonna be dusting them like birds. Yeah, because our dove hunting experience didn't go well.
That's all right too.
Yeah, you were the finisher.
Oh boy, you're crazy.
All right, well, I'll let you close us out here, man.
Yeah, be sure to check us out on Hunting After Dark Podcast on Apple and Spotify Podcasts. Check us out on our website at huntingafterdarkpodcast.com and check us out on our YouTube channel at huntingafterdarkpodcast.com or Hunting After Dark Podcast on YouTube. Thank you guys.
No, thanks, guys.